It's good to have you here. This is Luzic. Tonight's letter is different. It's not from someone struggling with loss. It's from someone who watches other people struggle with it every single day. His name is Daniel. He's 56 years old. He's been an estate and probate attorney for 27 years. For those who don't know, that means he helps families divide what their parents left behind. Daniel works in northern Illinois near Lake Michigan. A small office. Winters are harsh, summers are humid. He wrote, "My job is to organize what people spend a lifetime accumulating. But really, it's more like confirming the emotions people spend a lifetime building." So here it is. Daniel's letter. A few months ago, 3 siblings came to my office. Their parents have lived in the same house for over 40 years. Red brick exterior, creaky wooden stairs, an old maple tree in the yard. The will was simple, all assets to be divided equally among the 3 children. Fair, legally clean, but the eldest daughter didn't want to sell the house. This is our family's history. Dad fixed that kitchen himself. The middle son said, "I need the cash. My business is struggling right now." The youngest stayed quiet, didn't strongly support either side. Legally, it's shared ownership. If someone wants cash, selling is the fastest solution. The house was eventually sold. On the day of signing, the eldest daughter stared at the contract for a long time. Then she put down the pen and said, "You always put money first." That sentence wasn't recorded in the contract. But the real reason the house was sold was inside that sentence. In inheritance cases, the most common asset is a house. And houses aren't made of numbers. They're made of memories. That's why it's harder. Another case. The youngest daughter had cared for her mother for 6 years. Hospital appointments, organizing medications, late-night emergency room visits. Her life moved with her mother's illness. The other siblings lived out of state. They called once a month, visited on holidays. They weren't bad people. They just lived far away. Before she passed, the mother left a notarized will. All assets to be divided equally among the 3 children. Legally, it's a model will. The simplest way to reduce disputes. After I finished explaining the inheritance, the youngest daughter stayed behind and said, "I don't want more money. I wish Mom had written down somewhere that I was there." What she wanted wasn't money. The will listed bank accounts and real estate. But it didn't have the words "thank you." Legal documents don't contain emotions. But most inheritance disputes happen because emotions are missing. That day, I realized something. When a will is too fair, someone's devotion gets buried in the numbers. Many people think inheritance disputes only happen with large estates. But more than half of my cases involve estates under $200,000. Someone might say, "They're fighting over that little?" But it's not about the amount. Inheritance is a question. What kind of person was I to my parents? When the answer to that question is displayed as a number, people receive it like a rating of love. That's why inheritance becomes not a distribution of assets, but a battle over meaning. I often handle cases from blended families. A father remarried, In his will, he left a significant portion to his spouse. The children received only fixed amounts. Legally, no problem. The children didn't file a lawsuit. Instead, they quietly asked, "Did Dad love us less?" I explained the legal provisions, spousal rights, tax structures, trust design. But the answer to that question isn't in the law books. Inheritance often feels like a trial of love, and I'm more like the court recorder of that trial. The first 10 years, I had a sense of justice. I believed I was helping create fair distributions. The next 10 years, I became a technician. I learned how to prepare documents perfectly and minimize the possibility of disputes. These days, I'm a little different. I care more about relationships not completely breaking down than about winning. I hope cases end quickly. I hope the paperwork is finished before siblings turn their backs on each other completely. This work can easily make you cynical, but I'm still trying not to cross over into cynicism. In the evenings, I leave the office and drive past Lake Michigan on my way home. At home, I have a son in college and a daughter in high school. There's always someone's phone on the dining table. Conversations aren't long. Sometimes I think, what will I leave behind? I don't want my children to remember the size of my assets. Instead, I want them to remember the way I lived. But every day, I see scenes where assets overwhelm relationships. That's why I'm writing this letter. Inheritance isn't just a list of assets. It's the last sentence a parent leaves behind. If that sentence is too short, the interpretation becomes long. And I've been watching that long interpretation for 27 years. That was Daniel's letter. From Northern Illinois. There's something he wrote that I keep coming back to. Inheritance is the last sentence a parent leaves behind. I think about the families listening right now. Some of you might be caring for aging parents. Some of you might be siblings trying to decide what's fair. Daniel's letter isn't about legal advice. It's about something deeper. It's about how love, when not spoken clearly, gets measured in dollars. How devotion, when not written down, disappears into equal distribution. If you're a parent listening, maybe this is a reminder. Not to write a perfect will, but to write the words that won't fit in a will. The thank you. The I saw you. The you mattered. Because inheritance is more than what you leave. It's also what you say before you leave it. Daniel, thank you for this letter. After 27 years of watching families break apart over last sentences left unfinished, you're still trying not to be cynical. That takes more strength than people know. I'd like to play a song now. It's about the things we leave behind and the things we should have said. This is Luzic Radio. Good night.
The room goes quiet and when they stand, chairs scrape soft across the floor, paper cups and shaking hands, no one's certain anymore. You gather folders, close the file, Keep your voice in careful lines. Someone asks you what is fair, you answer with the law, not time. You've seen brothers look away over words they couldn't say. Watch love measured, signed and sealed. Watch what grief can slowly steal, and you carry it home. Silence after the will is read, all the words they never said. You carry it home, not the money, not the land, but the tremor in their hands. You carry it home. A daughter staring at her shoes, a son who won't come back inside. Photographs in silver frames, now divided side by side. You say it's what he wanted done, you say it like it makes things clear, but you've learned how loss can run through every clause you read each year. You don't choose and you don't blame, you just call it by its name. Stand between what's wrong and right, then step back out into the night, and you carry it home. The silence after the will is read, all the words they never said. You carry it home, not the houses, not the gold, but the stories growing old. You carry it home. You tell yourself it isn't yours, you're only there to translate pain, ink on paper, nothing more. Sign and date and close the case. Sometimes in the parking lot, you sit a little longer than you should, hands still resting on the wheel, breathing like you never could. Still you carry it home, all the fractured family lines, all the unfinished goodbyes. You carry it home. Porch lights on, the TV low, dishes drying by the sink, footsteps somewhere down the hall, more distant than you think. You hang your jacket on a chair, someone says you're late. You nod once, loosen up your tie, that is all you say. You wash your hands again tonight, like something might come free, but some things stay beneath the skin when no one else can see. And tomorrow there'll be another room, another silence to get through. You'll read the words they'll leave too soon, and you will carry it home. And you will carry it home.